The premiere of Zach's season of The Bachelor is in the books, and we are breaking down the biggest moments from night one. Hey everyone, welcome back to Shared News. The long awaited season premiere of Zach Shallcross's season finally happened. We're going to get into all the details, but before we do, if you are new here, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any Bachelor Nation recaps, which is what we're going to be doing today. Joined by my two favorite Kaylas, Kayla G and Kayla T. Hello to my dear Kaylas. How are we?
We are good. I speak for both Kaylas. No, I'm just joking.
No, I love that. Yeah, we're great. We're great. Thanks, Morgan. Super happy
We
to
decided off
talk about
camera
it.
that we're going to test the waters with some nicknames. So I'm going to call Kayla G KG for the day. And if I accidentally slip up and say KT, Kayla Thompson, you can just go ahead and answer my question. But we're going to do the
Perfect.
very best we can. You guys, we have been giving Zach a lot of flack lately. I don't think anybody was really super excited for this season. But after watching the first episode, let's just do a quick scale of 1 to 10. How excited are we for the season moving forward? Do you think it was better? Do you think it was worse? Just general thoughts to get us started.
Yeah, I'm somewhere in between a 7 and a 7.5. I was pleasantly surprised with Zach. I think he had some relatable moments. I did cringe a little at the family football and frozen pizza. I like a man who cooks. So, but other than that, I found him kind of endearing. And I really liked how he was interacting with the ladies, and it made me feel more positive going into the season.
Yeah, I actually have to agree. I was going to say a solid 7 for me. I think Zach, while he's a little awkward, I think that's just him. He's just a normal dude, as he likes to say. He's just being himself. And I think he's super genuine, but I also can tell that he's actually secure in who he is and he's really confident. And like KG was just saying, there was a lot of times when he was with the ladies that you can tell his personality was coming through and he's actually kind of chill and cool. And yeah, I just found him really endearing and cute. And I'm kind of excited that, it seems like he's really focusing on their relationships and the love stories are being built already. So yeah, I'm excited for the season.
Yeah, every rumor that I've heard online or on blogs is that this season really gets back to the root of what the Bachelor franchise is supposed to be about, and that is finding love. And I think, uh, you know, I keep hearing like the producers are hearing you when it comes to manipulated drama. And I think it was really clear by how we started off the episode bringing in Sean Lowe. The episode
Mm.
starts by saying you think you know Zach, but you really don't. There's a lot of criticism. Who is this guy? And then we start to learn more about him. And Sean Lowe comes in, one of the only bachelors to actually marry his final pick. Kayla T, do you think this was a strategic move on production's part? And do you think that they were trying to send viewers a message about Zach and maybe comparing him to Sean?
Yeah, 100%. I think that, them going back to their old roots and picking Sean Lowe to come in and give the advice was like one and the same intention. I think, like what you said, I mean, I'm aware that there are some thoughts and opinions about Sean Lowe in Bachelor Nation. Some people love him, some people don't, but you cannot take it away from him. He married his final pick. They've been married for 10 years. And I think there's some similarities with Sean and Zach and their personalities. And even in the first preview package, you see him holding a ring. They're going, they're saying, production is saying, this is going to work. Zach is going to be a success. They bring in Sean. I see the connection there for sure.
So we start to lay that groundwork of really starting to believe that Zach is here for the right reasons. And then just as quickly as we get to know Zach, we get a couple of intro packages. We have rodeo racers, content creators, nurses. In the first, I would say half an hour, we meet Bailey, Catherine, Christina, Charity, Greer, Brooklyn, Brianna, who got America's First Impression Rose, and then Katie. I know that I'm just spewing out a lot of names, but KG, which women stood out to you that got an intro package? Because it's pretty special if you do get one. Obviously, we know not everybody gets them. And sometimes I think that these women that get the intro packages, we know are at least going to make it a little bit further into the show. So, anyone in particular stand out to you?
Specifically, Katie, she made me laugh the most when she's like passing the trash can. I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting my ex to be here. That got a laugh out loud moment to me for me. So yeah, I really liked her, and I just automatically, actually, just from seeing their pictures, I was really excited about Charity, and she just
Mm.
has it girl energy. She's gonna be. We're gonna know her name for the rest of our lives. I'm calling it.
Yeah, totally. It's so funny that you said that about Charity, KG, because I felt the same. I mean, you guys
Mhm.
know me, I'm always rooting for the people of color. But honestly, when I saw Charity in the cast bios, I was like, there's something about this girl she just sticks out to me. She screams
Mhm.
like final girl, like she's going to make it to the end. And so, yeah, I loved just seeing how genuine she was. But someone else that really stood out to me was, well, dang, KG. I was gonna say Katie as well. She made me laugh with the trash can, with the trash can joke. But I actually thought it was really cool to see Brooklyn in her job, working at a horse ranch, and the work that she gets to do. It's actually, I don't know, it just kind of stood out to me as like that's really different and really cool. And I hope we get to see a little bit more of her. Yeah, she was really interesting.
I agree with both of you. I think Charity is the girl to watch this season. She just has that
Mhm.
presence about her where you want to watch her and you feel like you fall in love with her right away. So I can't imagine how Zach feels when he's looking at her in real life. That pink dress was just
Mm,
absolutely stunning. And, we'll get into the trailer for next week's episode a little bit later, but she is seen a lot in the trailer. So
mm,
I think for as much as we liked her on night one, Zach definitely is going to like her too. I also really like Christina. She's right here in the hot pink dress. She has the daughter in Nashville. I think she's really funny. So I'm keeping my eye out for her. And I actually liked her limo entrance the best, which we're going to get into that now. There were all types of different limo entrances. We know we break them down every single season: maple syrup, coffee, sunscreen, pigs. And then Christina comes in with the party bus. What was your favorite and maybe least favorite limo and moments? I'll get both of your thoughts, but KG, why don't you go first?
I would say I'm gonna use the word cringy. The most cringy is when I forget her name. Maybe you guys will remember, but when she makes Zach drink plain maple syrup, just like straight, and you could tell Zach hated every single second of it, and it was just like awkward. I think she
Gabby,
was
yeah.
expecting to be like, "Oh yeah, like thanks." I don't know. I think she was expecting it to go a lot different than it was received.
Yeah.
But I am excited to see more of her.
Yeah, KG, it's funny that you mentioned that being a cringy moment for you because I actually just did a video on our channel of the 5 most cringe-worthy limo entrances, and Gabby and the maple syrup definitely made it on the list. I wasn't a fan either, so but yeah, for me, one of my favorites, actually, you know what? It was my favorite, was Brianna coming in last. I just felt like it was just such a flex to be last. She already has a rose. Her whole dress was red roses. Like it was like the best entrance to me. And you could tell she just had that confidence. She had that connection with Zach already. He, of course, remembered her. So that was probably my favorite.
I agree. It was a showstopper. Brianna at the end was an absolute showstopper. Like I said, I really liked Christina in the party bus because that party bus scene with all of them on the bus later was my favorite moment of the entire episode. I thought that was so funny. It's something that we have
So
literally
fun.
never seen on the show before. So
Yeah.
the fact that Christina brought that in, I was really into it. And the one I hated the most, Lekka, who licked Zach. And she said, "I licked it, so now it's mine." I mean, she was sent home, but, would any of you ever do that if you had a limo entrance? I feel like that is just such a personal boundary that you don't really cross. I don't know, am I being a Karen right now, KG? What did you think of it?
So I think I'm in the minority here because I thought it was hilarious. So she licks his ear and says, "I licked it, so it's mine." Like I thought it was clever. Wasn't like she just licked him for no reason. She had a good punchline. I appreciated it. She stood out. We're talking about her, right?
True.
So I really liked it. I thought it was funny. I need someone to make me laugh if I was in Zach's
Mm.
place. And I mean, he didn't seem like disturbed by it or anything. It wasn't a maple syrup
Yeah.
moment.
That's a good point. That's a good point, KG. But I don't know. I can't lie. I disagree. I just thought it was totally like way out of line. It was weird. It was like, girl, I was like, girl, why would you lick him? That is off the charts. Like you could have smelled him and it would have been fine. You could have whispered something in his ear and I'd be like, cool, that's fine. But to lick him, I don't know. But I think Zach's response was honestly just him being like Zach and being nice because
Yeah.
I don't think anybody would want to be licked on the neck the first time they meet someone. I just don't. And, she went home. So I just don't think it really worked, you know?
I know. What about Ryan
Yeah, and
Gosling? If Ryan Gosling
okay,
licked you on
we
the
would have been
neck,
the
you would
roast.
not say no.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Good point.
Very good point. Good point. Yeah. So maybe Zach wasn't into licking, but we know he was into kissing because my gosh, he kissed 7 women on night one, the most out of any bachelor ever. He kissed Bailey, Katie,
Wow.
Christina, Greer, Madison, Charity, and Jess. KG, we'll start with you. Which kiss were you most surprised by and why? And then Kayla, you can give us your thoughts as well.
Yeah, I absolutely loved his moment with Bailey because it was very just spontaneous. It happened in like the entrance of when she just gets off the limo and it was unexpected. It was cute, endearing, and I just can't wait to see more of them. I have high hopes for Bailey.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think that surprised me the most was his kiss with Bailey, but I also think his kiss with Jess surprised me too because
Mhm,
Jess was kind of like girl next door, kind of
mhm.
quiet, nervous. But for some reason they did have this chemistry that was like, "Oh, okay, I see the little spark here going and this is kind of cute." So that was a cool moment.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. Bailey and Jess were my 2 picks. Obviously, most surprised by Bailey because you're just not expecting Zach to kiss her as soon as she walks out of the limo, but he did. And also Jess, because she was kind of like a dark horse in this moment where, like you said, Kayla,
Mhm.
she's the first one out of the limo. She's a little bit more shy, a little bit more reserved. She's got that girl next door vibe. And then they're making out by the end of the night. But I'm excited to watch these two as well. One woman that did not have the best time kissing Zach was Madison. She was one of the kisses, and she actually got eliminated right before the rose ceremony. She said she didn't feel wanted by Zach, and when she asked him about it, he said he didn't want to lead her on and sent her home. Kayla T, do you think that if Madison wouldn't have been so aggressive in that kiss and going to talk to him twice, do you think that there would have been hope for her? Or do you think she still would have been sent home regardless?
I think she would have been sent home regardless, honestly, but not night one. She might have gotten past night one because Zach did tell her, hey, I do think you're a really cool person and you seem like such a sweet girl. But I think because she did force it, yeah, I think that's what actually turned him completely off. And I honestly found the kiss between them a little like inappropriate. I feel like, all night, yes, we were seeing Zach kiss 7 girls, but he was asking for consent most of the time and saying, hey, I want to kiss
Mm.
you. Is that okay? And for I don't know, sometimes like girls feel like they don't have to do that. They could just go for it. And I did feel like it was a little uncomfortable and I don't know. Zach just wasn't into it. So I think all of that just did not help her case. But if she would have just chilled out and been cool, she might have made it through.
KG, what did you think about the way Zach handled the situation with Madison? Because he was pretty blunt with
Yeah.
her, in my opinion.
I was actually gonna say we've had some really crappy people who like really some we had some people who just don't know how to break up with people. Like past bachelors, there's been so many just moments of like, have you ever broken up with anyone before? Like, do you so Zach, I was
Right.
pleasantly surprised. I thought he was very respectful and he
Mhm.
was honest, which he asked of all the ladies in the very beginning. But he was I personally thought it was gentle. She asked, she straight up is like, "Are you into it? Are you not?" Like he couldn't really get
Mhm.
around answering it, right? So he's like, we're not each other's person. I appreciate you coming. There's the door. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was really respectful and it made me kind of excited to see future. I mean, not excited to see future breakups,
Mhm.
but to see a man be a little bit more respectful in the breakups and maybe just a more self-aware. Maybe that's the word I'm
Hmm.
looking for.
Yeah.
I
I would
really think
say
he's self-aware.
decisive. Yeah, sorry, KG. I was just gonna piggyback on what you said, and I think it
Yeah.
was straightforward and decisive for Zach to be like, "No, this is how I feel. This is what I'm gonna say." And yeah, I agree. I think he did it respectfully.
Yeah, I agree. And I want to see if you guys picked up on this or if it was just me because I caught it in this moment and then some other times in the episode too. In this moment when he's breaking up with Madison, he says, I've been led on and I don't want to do that
Mm.
to you.
I never want to force that, and I don't want to put you through something that's not real because I know what it feels like to be led on, and I don't want that for you.
And I felt like this was one of maybe many times that Zach was throwing a little shade at Rachel throughout this episode. I've seen, him doing interviews where he was kind of discussing more what happened in the fantasy suite, how they just had a horrible time and how it was, the opposite of what he expected it to be. Projecting this, or did you guys kind of sense that he's not really a Rachel fan?
Yeah, I did a little audible gasp when I was watching it. I was just like, did he just do that? Nice guy, Zach. Like, are we talking about Rachel here? I mean, we didn't have like a whole choir of people saying, I hate Rachel, like last season with Clayton, but I do think that we'll maybe see a few more of these throughout the season. I didn't notice any
Mhm.
more than that on this episode particularly, but that one definitely got my attention.
No, the same for me. I audibly did gasp when he said that. I was like, "Oh, shade, a little shade." But I think it's kind of a balance between maybe the producers are like, "Yeah, go ahead and say that," but also, they're trying to relate with like his experience and what happened on his last season, and kind of like get us to understand him a little better with that and why he
Mhm.
is operating the way he is. So it works for me. I don't mind him doing it. I think with Gabby and Rachel, it started to get overused, and I think
Yeah,
for
too
them, it
much.
was like they kept saying Clayton. So as long
Mhm.
as Zach doesn't like say Rachel, 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 I think it's fine to just be like, in my experience, this is what happened with me, and so X, Y, and Z.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
here for the
And
subtle
especially
shade. I'm sorry. The tea was piping. I was like, okay, Zach, throw the shade. We're here for it. And I gotta say, you guys know I have not been that excited for this season. I really haven't been excited for any season, I want to say, since COVID, just because I feel like the caliber of leads that we've had just hasn't been what they used to be. Obviously, social media has completely changed the Bachelor game. But I will say that after watching this episode, I'm not completely turned away, which I thought that I would be. And I feel like I'll watch it in real time. So we're going to go ahead and break down the trailer for next week's episode. And we have a lot of these to get through. So let's go ahead and get started.
It's an unforgettable adventure filled with love,
Every time he holds me, my heart skips a beat.
passion,
I feel like that magnetic.
Okay, KG, could you figure out who any of these one-on-one daters were? Because I had my binoculars out, but I still cannot like put the faces to the names and figure anybody out.
Yes, I was actually just telling Kayla T that I try not to because I like to be surprised, but definitely you could tell this one here is Anastasia, and I just know that. I know she didn't have a big night one, but her pantsuit did the talking for me, and so I'm really excited to see her this season.
Yes, agreed. Love that. Bold choice. Let's go with the next clip.
and romance.
I truly see Zach as my husband.
Bring on the women!
Okay, so slowly but surely we're getting there. We saw Charity, our it girl. We've already dubbed her of the season, and we can see here they go to London, which we did see previews of. See previews on Instagram, which we knew they were going to London. So all of that we've kind of discussed. So let's keep it moving with clip 3.
It feels literally like a dream.
Okay, ladies, let's go. Spice it up.
I'm here to find my best friend.
Okay, I mean we're just getting after it. Kayla, I think that these girls look fun. They look like they're having a good time. And I
Yeah.
mean, I know we're early into the season trailer and the tears are to come, but what kind of vibes are you getting from this beautiful still shot of Kylie.
Right. I love the still shot of Kylie. She's so cute and fun. I think what you said earlier about the party bus moment when they all got on, I was thinking, wow, this group of girls are so like just down for the experience. They're down to like
Mm.
do it together, have fun together. No one's really being catty or anything yet. So I think what we're seeing is one of the first early group dates. I would even say probably the first group date of the season where they're just having fun, letting loose. And yeah, I feel like we really are getting a drama-free vibe from this cast of women. Well, so far anyway.
Yeah. Time will tell. Let's keep moving.
Spend the rest of my life with someone that loves me and I love them. And I know my wife is here.
Okay, let's just do a quick poll. Zach the snack. Good catchphrase, bad catchphrase. Yes, no, thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm going to say thumbs down. Oh, okay. I'm the only one with a bad attitude here. Okay.
I'm so
let's move
into
on.
it, guys.
Yeah,
Like, it's
maybe it's going to
cute.
be the jingle of this season. We'll have to see. Let's move on to our next clip.
Zach is the most genuine, emotionally intelligent, sweet soul. All of us want the guy like that. This is so cool.
Okay, so we get Greer in a confessional who, right before we jumped onto this panel, too, is already in, a media frenzy with stuff coming out about her past. In 2016, I believe it was her defending blackface, which you would think by now the Bachelor franchise would learn maybe not to go down this road. So it's like, what the heck is going on? I don't know, KG and Kayla, if you have any opinions on what's going on with Greer right now. I know it's not really anything to do with the trailer, but it is trending right now.
Mhm.
So go ahead and open the
Mhm.
floor to you guys.
It's just so disappointing. I'm just really like one day into the Bachelor season, like they
Right.
can't. I'm frustrated, and it's just really disappointing.
Yeah, that's news to me actually. I haven't been on socials the past few hours, so I wasn't aware of all the stuff coming out about Greer. But yeah, again, agree with KG. It's disappointing. It's frustrating. I mean, I don't know why they don't learn to vet their contestants better than this. I don't get how hard it is to just do a comb through of their socials, their Twitter. And for Greer to be someone who got the first impression rose, she's obviously going to go far. It's like, well, now this is going to be kind of a shadow hanging over what we're watching in the show. And yeah, we'll have to see how her and the franchise decides to respond.
Yeah, like I said, this literally dropped just before we came on here, so we don't have a ton of details. I will say what I saw was that she has already addressed it and apologized for it. Obviously saying that her actions were wrong in 2016 and they're wrong now, and that she's not making excuses for it. I can't remember what else she said, but it was very long on our Instagram, and I don't want to put words in her mouth. But I will say that this is a different approach that we saw from what happened with Rachel Kirkconnell and even Eric Schwer. So I will say her coming out immediately and saying something about it is at least something different than we've seen in the previous controversies that have kind of
Yeah.
dealt around the same thing. But we want to move on from this more serious topic. And of course, here on Shared News, we'll keep you covered as more details come out about that. But let's go ahead and get back into the season trailer.
After today, I definitely see myself falling in love with Zach. I am definitely falling for you. Sparks are literally flying.
Uh-oh. So we know
Wow.
multiple women falling for Zach compared based on what we just saw too, and maybe more. Let's do like a quick guess. We'll each just give a number. How many women do you think will tell Zach that they love him? I'm going to guess 4.
I'll go 3.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go 3. Love him or falling in love?
Ooh, good point, because
Ooh,
they're
that's
different. Let's say
definitely different.
falling in love.
Okay,
I've got to change my
falling in
number.
love. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be like 7, 6, around that number.
It's going to
Maybe
be
even 8.
every
was-
girl. Yeah, every
Yeah.
girl that Zach kissed on night 1, except
Right.
Madison, who has since been eliminated. Okay,
Exactly.
let's check
Exactly.
out our next clip.
Falling in love with you, and I can see a future with you.
I've really waited for this moment to truly experience authentic love.
There's our girl.
Oh,
I mean, we've said it the
Charity.
whole entire the whole entire panel today. It is just something about her. Her energy is contagious. And
Yes.
I think, it didn't take a
Goosebumps.
rocket
I got
scientist to
goosebumps.
figure out that
Right.
Zach was gonna like her as much as we all did. KG, what are you feeling right now? You said you have goosebumps.
I do. I get goosebumps on almost every trailer I watch, but not on The Bachelor. So it's a lot to get some goosebumps from The Bachelor. I just think she's so genuine. She's just
Mhm,
so beautiful. She's
mhm.
inside and out. And I don't know. I feel like she's my best friend, but even though I don't know her, but I would like to be best friends. Charity, if you're watching this, bestie application.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes. Let's continue on with our next clip.
I'm falling in love with you, and I can tell you 10 million times again and again.
Before I met you, I honestly didn't think that I could be this happy. Zach seems like the perfect guy.
Okay, so there's Katie, who we also have talked about a lot in this panel. Kayla T, is Zach the perfect guy? Do you think that's a stretch, or do you think that there's no such thing as a perfect guy? But like, where is Zach
Okay.
ranking?
I mean, Zach is a really great guy, I mean, but they say that about every Bachelor. The perfect guy. Even on The Bachelorette, she's the perfect girl. She's the dream
Yeah.
girl. They got to say stuff like that. But no,
Yeah.
Zach has some really, really strong qualities. Like we were talking about before. He's super genuine. He's just a regular guy. It seems like he's not here for fame or clout or any of that. It seems like after this, he's really just going to go back to his normal life. And so, yeah, I think he is a really great option for like husband material.
Now, I also don't know if I'm reading into the trailer too much, but it sounds to me like he tells two different women that he's falling in love or in love with them. KG, do you
Oh,
think that
no, I heard
that
that.
is a good strategy, or do you think that leads should not do that?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes like Clayton. I don't know if he said I love, did he? But I know Ben Higgins was like the first to do it, and it was like
Yeah.
this huge thing. I don't know.
Mhm.
There's a thing of keeping it close to the chest and saving it for the person at the end. But then there's also of like just sharing your feelings in the moment. I could see both. I mean, he's probably going to get flack either way, honestly. Like people
Mhm.
will find a
True.
reason.
Yeah,
So we'll
for sure. I
we'll
was going to
reserve our
say, sorry.
judgment. No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think, it's funny because I don't know. I feel like the Bachelors get flack, but the Bachelorettes kind of do it too. Michelle told Brandon and Nate that she loved both of them, and we kind of like let them slide. But I
Mhm.
do agree with KG. I don't think it's smart. Like, I don't know. You can see both sides, but I feel
Yeah.
like, it's best to maybe just try to save it for the final person.
Yeah, we'll reserve our judgment of Zach potentially saying "I love you" to multiple women when we find out if he actually did. You know how these trailers can go sometimes. Let's go ahead and watch our next little clip.
Those are hard to find these days. I care about him so much. Doesn't he miss me as much as I miss him?
So we started this season trailer saying all the girls were happy and fun and having the time of their lives, but we knew it would take a turn. We hate to see another woman crying on the stairs while Bachelor cameras are rolling. I mean, obviously, I don't want to call it an iconic scene, but I mean, it does live rent free in my brain. Rachel crying on the stairs during Clayton's season.
For
Kayla
sure.
T, I want to ask if you have any suspicions who this is.
Oh, I had my magnifying glass out on this. I think we might see it a little bit clearer in the next clip, but my guess is it's actually Christina, which I find really interesting because she seemed super confident, big personality. Her and Zach seem to have a good connection. So, yeah, I'm curious to see what kind of sparks this whole breakdown.
Okay, so take a mental picture of this outfit, and we are going to see,
Mhm.
hopefully, in the next clip, if this is Christina, if we can figure this out.
I'm terrified that at the end of this, it's not me.
We all want Zach, so the claws are gonna come out.
I'm like already jealous.
Where's Zach?
The
Maybe not
next
yet.
clip.
Okay, maybe the next
coming
clip. I'm
up.
like looking at all. I'm looking at their
Coming, some
bathing
point.
suits. I'm looking the way
Right.
their hair is tied. I'm looking at the it girl Charity, and we don't want to see her cry.
We don't want to see
Let's
her
continue
cry.
on because we don't want to see her cry. So I want to just see if this was Christina or not. So hopefully it'll be in this next clip.
What I have with Zach is amazing, and I don't want it to go away. I'm obsessed upset that I haven't gotten a one-on-one.
I don't trust Jess. She's manipulative.
We'll get there eventually.
It's coming, I promise.
There is tea, though. There is tea in
Yeah.
these clips, y'all. There is tea in these clips, though.
Yeah, I want to
My
talk
gosh.
about Jess because this kind of goes back to what we have already been saying about her in this panel. And that is that, she's the girl next door, right? You just don't expect Jess to be you don't see Jess come out of the limo first and think that's the winner, right? Not
Mm.
any knock on her. It's just there's a lot
Mhm.
of other loud personalities, there's big personalities, there's girls with like bigger hair and more makeup. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's not
Yeah,
at all
for
a
sure.
knock against her. But to see her here crying to Zach saying, I haven't got a one-on-one date yet, kind of might be reaffirming the suspicions that we have about her potential connection with Zach. And can you guys remind me who was being called manipulative in this clip? Do you remember?
I believe it's Jess that they're saying that she's
well
being
then,
manipulative,
okay.
crying to him.
I
Yeah,
really
so you
Yeah.
called it.
that shows you how much I was looking to see if it was Christina in that net dress that I was not even paying attention to who they were calling manipulative. So we'll have to see. Is Jess going to be one of our villains? I don't know. Let's go ahead and watch the next clip.
Are you here for me?
Yes.
I don't know if I believe Anastasia.
Why are you making this about you? Christina is spreading lies and trying to play the victim card.
Please help me, help me, help me. I don't want to.
Okay, we see some villains emerging, potentially Anastasia, who KG we talked about earlier, had the pantsuit moment on night one. We have Christina getting into a little bit of a tiff with somebody, and then this is her crying. So we did figure out that it was her. She's going to be having the meltdown on the stairs. What do you make of maybe Anastasia becoming a villain and Zach saying that he doesn't believe her, KG?
Yeah, I do think it's interesting. So I actually took a look at some of the social medias of these girls last night and kind of seeing who's like the influencers, who's maybe not so much. And Anastasia is someone who stuck out to me, who she's very in the social media world. So it almost makes me wonder if the no pun intended is there for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that's something I've had my eye on. She had more of a following, so it does just make sense in the numbers of her going on a reality show for potentially not the right reasons.
There's always a couple wannabe influencers in the mix, and sometimes there
yeah.
are full-blown influencers already in the mix. Let's go ahead and watch our next clip.
Oh, God. I just so confused right now.
I like it so much.
I don't know if we still want.
So we got some tears from Katie. We have some tears from Brianna. We even have some tears from Zach. I like it when a guy cries, so I'm not going to shame him for
No.
that. Wear your emotions on your sleeve, Zach. But not really a lot to get into here, I don't think. So let's just go ahead and keep moving forward.
I'm falling in love with you, but my heart's torn. Why is this happening? I've caused pain, and
Okay, so he says that his heart is torn, and then obviously we see him walking here with a ring in his hand. I guess we can do whether or not you think Zach is gonna get engaged. I feel like they pretty much have already confirmed that he does by everything that we've seen previously. All signs lead to the fact that he gets engaged. Am I reading that wrong? Kayla T, what do you think?
No, Morgan, I think you're completely spot on. In the, first episode, the first preview for the rest of the season, we see Zach say, I found my person, I found my best friend, I can't wait to propose. So we know he's going to propose. But what's interesting to me is whatever location this is in with him walking with this ring, that's clearly going to be the final location. So any girls we see in clips that seem very European, kind of some castle-esque architecture, we can pinpoint maybe they're going to be in at least the final 3. So it's some good, hints we're getting here from this clip for sure.
Okay, good point. We'll keep an eye out for this type of scenery as we get through these last couple of clips. We're going to move on to our next one.
I've made mistakes. I just hope at the end of the day, it's all worth it.
I'm so sorry.
What? How does this happen?
Okay, so this kind of hints to a self elimination. Obviously, we see Zach having a conversation with somebody, tears rolling down his face. Somebody says, I'm so sorry. And then they drive away, reportedly or whatever you want to say here. We don't know who's in the van. They're kind of teeing it up to be like that. KG, do you have any theories on what's going down here? Is somebody going to self eliminate?
Yeah, I personally think really late in the season too, as you see like kind of the castles, and I think it's going to be a top three contestant. And I just have a feeling it might be Charity. And here's why. You see her a lot of tears, and you kind of can tell from the end. And he says he's messed up a lot. I think Zach messes up, and Charity knows her worth. She's an it girl. I never thought that Charity's going to get the
Wow.
final rose, but I do think she's going to have a
Mhm.
moment, and I think this is hers.
I mean, is it
Ooh,
too
what a
soon to
theory.
start campaigning charity for next bachelorette? Maybe.
Bachelorette?
Yes.
No,
Yeah, I
no.
know.
I
I was gonna
really
say,
It's at like
charity, we've been
99% for
saying
me.
it. Okay, the meter is at 99 because she really is an it girl and all the tears, whatever happens, KG, it's a really interesting theory, but whatever happens, I mean, our heartstrings are gonna be tugged for Charity, Bachelorette energy for sure.
That's what I'm
For
thinking. It perfectly
sure.
sets her up, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely. And I think that this is our last clip. So let's see how they wrap it up and then we can make our final predictions based off of what we see here.
It's just like shocking. I didn't ever think it was gonna be like this. I still love her, and it might be too late, but true love is worth fighting.
Are we going to have a Susie situation where, one of the final three leaves and Zach is going chasing after her wherever they are here? It seems like architecturally is, if that's a
Mhm.
word, they seem to be in the same location, right? All of these same big
Mhm.
brick buildings. I don't know for certain where they are, but do you think it's going to be one of those um not like a cookie cutter ending where, they're on a beach and they get down and propose? Because I actually was thinking about this. I don't even think that in the trailer we get the stereotypical moment of the guy down on the knee, the final rose laying there. And I could be wrong. I mean, we'll
Mhm.
see. I think we have one more clip. But what are the chances that he's going to have a Clayton situation where his winner leaves and he has to chase after them? Kayla T, is that something you would even want to see?
Girl, no. I genuinely want to see like it just, we've been saying they're going back to their roots. So I want a normal ending. I kind of do. I want it
Mhm.
to just be this is his final pick. They get engaged. There's no second guessing or anyone, him chasing after anybody. I don't want that at all. And I think, honestly, because our last bachelor was Clayton and that was a situation, I think it's fresh in our minds that that could be a possibility. But that was the first time that ever happened. So it's a really rare situation. So I think KG is onto something with it being one of his final three that ends up kind of throwing him off and his heart, breaking his heart maybe. But I think
Mhm.
his final pick is still around. So I don't know. We have to see, but it's a good point about us not seeing the final rose podium and setup. We definitely didn't see that. We only just saw him walking around with the ring, which they could shoot that at any
Yeah.
time, to be honest.
And yeah, it's interesting because this is how the season trailer ends. There is no podium. There is no final rose. There is no Zach down
Mm.
on one knee and all you can see is a girl in a dress, but you can't see her hair color or anything like that. And we always tend to get those type of shots. So let's
Mhm.
do final rose predictions. What do you think is going to happen at the end of Zach's season? Are they just tricking us? Are they faking us out and we will have that somewhere on a beach, him down on one knee with the final rose? Or do you think that he's going to have to go chase his girl down and bring her back?
I think they're tricksters. I think we're gonna
Yeah.
have a more traditional ending, especially with them bringing Sean Lowe in like the beginning. I think they're really trying to set that up. I have a feeling about Bailey. I don't know if that feeling is gonna go into anything, but I do have specifics too that I don't think are gonna make it that people think that are, and those are the two like the first impression in America's Rose. I personally don't think
Mm,
Greer or Brianna will make it to the top three, top two.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that specific point. I don't think Brianna is going to make it as far as we maybe would like or would expect. I do feel like Greer is I don't know, she wasn't really in that trailer a lot, but there was one shot of her that I found really interesting. So I don't know, I'm
Mm.
still gonna keep my eye on Greer. But yeah, I agree. I do think we're gonna get a traditional ending. You know, halfway through the season, we usually get another big trailer that shows us a bunch of clips that are like towards the end. So we might have to hold out to
Mhm.
see if we get that shot of the final rose ceremony. But yeah, I think honestly, my top three, it's between Charity, it's between, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think it might be Greer. And for some reason, Katie is really sticking out to me. So I'm watching those three for now, but we'll have to keep, seeing how the season unfolds.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to go with Katie. I do think Charity's going to make it far. We all agree, but I don't think that they'll end up together. I also really like
Mhm.
Bailey, like you said, KG, but I think Katie is enough of a presence without it being like completely overpowering to consider her farther along in the show, right? They're really setting up a strong character arc for her right off the bat, which normally is a telling sign that they're going to make it decently far without really overdoing it. Maybe the way that we have seen with some of the other girls. But yeah, like we said, we are more excited for this season than we thought we would be. So pleasantly surprised. Any comments, thoughts, opinions that you want to leave down in the comment section? We love to hear from you. This could be your sounding board on all things Zach season. And of course, we're going to be recapping every single episode right here on Shared News. So before you go, make sure you subscribe to our channel, ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of those videos. As always, I'm your host, Morgan Wright, joined today by Kayla G and Kayla T. Our Instagram handles are on the screen now. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you back next week for another Bachelor recap. Bye, everyone.